Welcome back to Peak Performance Arm Wrestling. Today we're going to be breaking down arm wrestling movements of the wrist and the hand. Radial deviation, or riser, is moving your wrist towards the thumb side, while ulnar deviation, or chop, is moving your wrist towards the pinky side. Pronation is where you turn your palm down as if you're pouring something, and supination is turning your palm up as if you're going to hold something. Wrist flexion, or cup, is where you bring your hand towards your inner elbow, and wrist extension is where you bring your wrist towards your outer elbow. Cupping is important in turning an opponent's hand in, and flopping is useful in pressing an opponent's hand down. In the neutral position shown, thumb abduction is where you bring your thumb away from your fingers towards your body, and thumb adduction is where you're bringing your thumb back to its starting position towards your fingers. Thumb flexion, as seen to your left, is where you bring your thumb towards your pinky into your palm, and thumb extension is extending it out as if to give a thumbs up. Wrist rising is useful in gaining leverage and attacking the opponent's fingers. In contrast, chop is useful in containing an opponent's hand while attacking their fingers. Pronation is useful in attacking an opponent's wrist flexion as to disengage them from their power. Supination is useful in disengaging an opponent's pronation and riser, thereby assisting in wrist flexion and the technique hooking. The thumb is often neglected in arm wrestling, so let's look at its significance. Firstly, it's extremely versatile relative to other fingers, meaning without it, humans would not have the ability for fine motor skills. In arm wrestling, the thumb, when used effectively, allows for control and leveraging. Flexion aids in grip, extension aids in rising, abduction aids in pronation, and adduction aids in supination. To conceptualize how your thumb can aid in some of these wrist movements, try this. When you flex your thumb is moving in the same direction as your wrist would if you were to pronate. If you extend your thumb is moving in the same direction as your wrist would if you were to supinate.